Today in class we learned how to find the slope of a line that is being represented by a table. And first we read our table as ordered pairs, so x comma y going sideways or even up and down x comma y. And we found two ordered pairs and we used the slope formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to figure out the slope of the line that's being represented by the table. After that, though, we learned that there's an easier calculator trick that we can use that will help us find the slope from ordered pairs or tables in general. And so I want to make a quick video explaining how to do that. So this is what your homework looks like, and I want to look at number 1 and probably number 1 and also number 10 on the back together with you in this video. So I'm looking at number 1. I want to make this table on my calculator. To do that, I hit Stat. Stat is found kind of underneath the left arrow key. So hit Stat. We want to hit Enter or 1 so that you can edit the list. Now if you get to this screen and you already have numbers in your list, scroll up so that the name of the list is highlighted and hit Clear. And then go down. Scroll up, hit Clear, and then go down. Your x values always go in L1, so in L1 I'm typing a -3 and then I hit Enter. Then I type a 1 and hit Enter. After you type the number that goes in that box, hit Enter so you can get to the new number. So now I've got a 3, Enter, 5, Enter. That's all of my x values, so I'm going to scroll over to the L2 column where all of my y values will go. Anything in x goes in L1 and anything that's y goes in L2. So I'm starting out with -9, Enter, 3, Enter, 9, Enter, 15, Enter. After that I can hit Stat, scroll over to Calc, and then you want to hit 4. It says lin.reg ax plus b. Scroll down to 4. Or you can just hit the number 4. From there, just make sure that your x list says L1, your y list says L2, and then hit Calculate. Here we see that y equals ax plus b, where a is 3 and b is 0. So y equals ax plus b, a is 3 and b is 0. Now, in this assignment specifically, I'm finding slope. And we said that slope can be represented by the letters M, K, or A. So I'm circling A as my final answer. I asked you guys in class to get in the habit of writing both of those numbers. In a unit later on this year, you will need both the A and B values. So we do want to get in the habit of writing all of that, but we know that A is really the slope, not B. Just for fun, let's also look at 4 because it's a table that's sideways instead of up and down. It's a horizontal table instead of a vertical table. So I need to go back to my list, and I need to put these numbers in my list now. So Stat, Edit will let me edit my list. There's numbers in here, so I'm going to go up and hit Clear. I just hit Delete. That's okay. We can get our list back by hitting Stat, and then our normal menu pops up. Hit 5 where it says Set Up Editor, 5, and then hit Enter so that your screen says Done. Now when you go back to Stat, Edit, L2 is there with all those old values again, so we're going to go over, and this time we're going to be sure that we hit Clear and not Delete. Go up, Clear, go down. Okay. L1 hosts all of the x values. Our x values are sideways this time, so we have to make sure that we're typing in 0, 4, 8, 12, not 0, 0. 0, 4, 8, Enter, 12. Remember, you're hitting Enter between each number. That all goes in L1. In L2, we're putting the y values, so 0, 3, 6, 9. That should say L2. L2. scroll over. In L2 we type in 0, 3, 6, 9. Now that our values are in L1 and in L2, I hit Stat, scroll over to Calc, hit the number 4. XList says L1. Just for fun, if your XList doesn't say L1, to fix that, hit second 1. Second is in blue, and you'll see above the 1 key, L1 is in blue. So that's going to make your calculator call back L1. You didn't want the T there. I'm going to scroll over the T and just hit delete. What if the same thing happened for your Y list? Your Y list needs to say L2. So highlight your Y list and hit second 2 because this is the second list. And now we get L2. You need to make sure that those say L1 and L2 because we typed in our X values in L1 and our Y values in L2. Then scroll down to calculate. Here we get that our slope, we have y equals ax plus b, and the slope is 0.75, 75 hundredths, and b is 0, and we're going to talk about b in another unit. Remember, we've always said that, we've said that we like our slope to be fractions better because in a fraction we actually get some information about our slope. We get a rise and a run, right? A horizontal or y value change over an x value change. So if our slope is written as a fraction, that gives us some good information. To change something to a fraction on your computer, you need to type in the number followed by math and then enter twice. So enter times 2. So I'm going to type in 0.75, math, enter, enter. This says 0.75, you want to make it a fraction, and then here it is as a simplified fraction. So 3/4 is the slope here. All that does is make an equivalent fraction to the decimal that you've got. 0.75 and 3/4 are the same value. And I want to look at number 10 as well. I'm going on the back of your homework, looking at number 10. Number 10 asks, well, what is the slope of the line containing the points shown in this table? So I'm going to look at that table, and that's a super easy problem if I've got a calculator. I'm going to hit Stat. I'm editing my list, scrolling up, clear, down, highlight L1, clear, go down. Now that I'm highlighted in the dash, I can start typing in my X values. 2, enter, 2, enter, and so on. There's 4 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can go over to my Y values, my L2. So all of this was L1. Now I'm typing in L2, -6, -4, 1, 7. Uh-oh. I typed in something wrong. Just hit go to. I typed a comma instead of a negative. I was just trying to go too fast. I don't know why I typed in a negative. We need 7, just positive normal 7. Okay. Now that I have all my values in, I can hit Stat, scroll to the right once to hit Calc, choose number 4. L1 is my X list, L2 is my Y list. Scroll all the way down and hit Calculate. This says Error Domain. If it says error for your domain, that means that your slope is undefined. The word domain refers to your X values. Remember, slope is rise over run. And run is where your X values are, right? So if your X values are all the same, then your run is 0, which means you're dividing by 0. So we can't divide by 0. That's an undefined value. So we know that our slope is undefined. And remember, when you're typing in a fraction on your computer, or calculator, my bad, something like alpha y equals 7/0, you get an error for dividing by 0. Domain and divide by 0 are they're the same thing. They just both mean that the value is undefined. There is a hopefully kind of quick video on 3 of your homework questions. Remember, these are all calculator problems. You can use your calculator. Remember to show your work by telling me which ones you type in L1, which ones you're typing in L2, and then tell me what A is. In this case, A is undefined.